Hello everyone, this is Programming for Beginners. In this video, we are going to see how to design this beautiful love calculator using HTML and CSS. And in another video, we are going to see how to make it very functional using JavaScript. So I have already created a new file, love.html and love.css. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to other videos that we have. You will see how to create a new file. I made a special video on that, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get an update each time I post. So to start off with this design, I'm going to put my boilerplate in love.html. So I'm going to hold my shift and press 1, then click enter. Good. So I'm going to change the title to love calculator. So let me remove this document. Love calculator. Sorry. Love calculator. All right, so then I'm going to link my CSS to my HTML. That is this CSS file. So to link it, I'm going to say link. All right, click enter. Then I will link it to love.css. So love.css, enter. All right, so everything I'll be doing will be inside my body. So to start up, inside the body tag, I'm going to create a container that is going to hold everything. Dot container. All right, so I'll click enter, enter again. So inside this container, I'm going to have input type. So the first input type will be, that is this particular input type, which is for your name, and the second input type will be for your partner's name. So that is what we want to do now. So this is the first input type, so I'm just going to copy this, Control C, then enter, Control V, which is for the second input type. So I'm going to add my placeholder here, which will carry your name, placeholder, your name. All right, and for the second input type, I'm going to add my placeholder, which will be for your partner's name, partner's name. All right. So the last but not the least, I'm going to add a button. Okay, so button. All right, and the button is going to carry check love, which is this button, check love and percentage. So let's do that. So we're going to write check love, sorry, LOVE, and then our percentage, right? Now let's run this code and see what we've done. So place your cursor here, right? Right click, copy path. You can choose to use your live server, okay, but this is for beginners, so we are going to be doing it manually. Then you open a new tab in the browser of your choice, Control V and enter. So this is, let me make this bigger. So this is what we just did. So let's continue, right? I mean, to beautify it is the work of CSS, but before we beautify, I want us to add another p tag here, which is going to bring out the percentage of the love. So but it's going to be empty for now, so I'm going to say p tag. So this is, don't just leave it as p tag under the button. All right, so now let's add CSS to this work. All right, so let's go to our CSS. Good. So remember that we've already linked our CSS to our HTML. So let's start styling from the body. We are going to say body, curly braces. All right, so background color. Our background color, we are going to use purple, or we can choose to use linear gradients. But for the sake of beginners, let's just use purple. Let's make the purple a bit light, but I would love to use linear gradient to this, so it will give us double color. Let's use linear gradient. We've learned about background color already if you've been seeing my video, so we can learn something new. We're going to say background, not background color this time, background. We're going to use linear gradients, all right. So you're going to choose the true color that you want it to bear. So linear gradients is the first color is going to be, let's use purple. All right, let's use purple for the first color, and the second color is going to be, okay, let's make this purple a bit lighter. Okay, good. Now the second color, let me put my comma. Sorry, I don't like when this happens. Then the second color is going to be pink. I want it a bit pinky. Good. So this will be for my second color. I can hover on it and choose the kind of pink I want. So this is for the linear gradient. So let's see what this looks like. So it makes sense to us. I'm going to refresh, and you can see it carries two different colors. Now let's go back to our code. If you don't want this linear gradient, you can just use your background color. It works as good as that. So let's continue. So we're going to give it a font family, right? Our font family, we're going to use comic, or let's use I think Georgia will also work as good. So let's use Georgia. Georgia. Mm, all right. Okay. So we are going to display flex, of course, because we are trying to make the container be in the center. So we are going to display it flex before we now justify content to be center. Justify content is going to be center. All right. We're also going to align items. So align items also will be in the center. We are going to give it a height. All right. Our height is going to be 100 VH. That is 100 view height. Okay, we're also going to give it a margin of 0. That is optional. I don't want any single margin there, so margin of 0. So we are automatically done with the body. So let's work on our container, which is this container in our HTML. Let's work on the container, because when we go to the one we are trying to duplicate, the container is white. This is what we are working on. So let's work on that container. Okay, so dot container, remember it's a class, right? So dot container curly braces. I'm going to say background color. All right, I'm going to give it a background color of white. All right, I'm going to give it a padding. Padding is inner space. I'm going to give it a padding of 30 pixels. All right, I also give it a border radius. Right, let's give it a border radius of 20. I want it very curvy. That is the edges. I want the edges curved. I'm also going to give it a box shadow. I want it to have shadow at the edges of it also. So the box shadow I'm going to give is, let's say, for the left, 1 pixels. So 2 pixels. 1 pixels again. And the bottom should be 4 pixels. Okay. So automatically it's going to give black box shadow, but let's just add black for the sake of beginners. All right. So let's also make the text align to the center. I want everything there centered, right? So the last but not the least, I'm going to give it a width. Let's say width of 300 pixels. Okay, so let's run this code and see what it's looking like. Good. This is beautiful. So I think this box shadow is too much. Let me reduce a little bit. I'll give here 3 pixels. I don't like this when it happens, when I'm trying to do something. All right, 3 pixels. Let me give you a 0. I think this should do. Good. No, I need to make that 0, 1. All right. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So let's work on the H2. But did we add H2 to this? Which is this H2 that says love calculator. Let's see. This, I'm talking about this H2. Let's see if we added it to our, we did not. So let's do that here. Under the container, we are going to write H2. Enter. Let's write love calculator. Love calculator. Okay, I want to give this icon. this love icon that we are seeing at the side. Okay, so to the easiest way we can do that, I don't want to use font awesome. You just hold your Windows key and period sign, and this is going to come out. Then you choose the one you want. So I'm also going to choose it here. If you can't find it, you can also search for it. So hold your Windows key again and period as in dot. Okay, so I'm going to choose this also. So this should do. All right, so let's go back and style the h2 tag that we just brought in. So h2 curly braces. All right, the only thing I need here is to add color to it. I'm just going to give it a pink color, or let's use this purple color that we're already working with. You can choose any color of your choice. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to give it a margin bottom so that there will be space at the bottom part of it. I don't want it squeezed with my input type. So the margin bottom will just be maybe 6 pixels, not too much because it's already looking um nice. So let's refresh. All right, I think this 6 pieces is small, but let's just continue and see how it goes. So now the next thing I need to do is to style the input types. Okay, so input types, for the inputs, curly braces. So I'm going to give it a width. All right, the width is going to be 80%. I didn't say pixels, I said percent. All right, now the padding, for the padding, I think I need to give it like 10 pixels. All right, I'm going to also give it a margin, that is outer space. Padding is inner space. I also give it a margin of 10 pixels. I need enough space in it. Then border radius. So the border radius, I'm going to give it, let's say 15. So it will be very curvy, or should we use 10? Okay, let's leave it at 15. You can change just to 10 if you don't like 15. Then I'm going to give a border. All right, so the border I'm going to give it, because by default it has black border, but I'm going to give it 1 pixel solid. Okay, I'm going to give it 1 pixel solid pink for the border, or let's use crimson so it will be a bit thicker, like red. Okay, so I'm also going to outline it none. I don't need outline there. Right, those blackish outline, I don't need it. So the text align, I'm going to center it. That is text align to be centered. Then the last but not the least, I think I'm going to give it a font size. Let's give it a 15 pixels font size. All right, so now we are done with the input type. Let's work on the focus, but before that, let's refresh and see what it looks like. Wow, this is beautiful. So let's work on the focus so that it works as fine as this. When I click on it, it brings out this shadowy border. So that is the focus. So let's quickly do that. So to work on the focus, enter. We're going to also say input. All right, input column, sorry, input column focus. All right, curly braces. So I want to give it a background color, sorry, border color rather, border. Okay, so the border color is going to be border hyphen color. So the border color is going to be let's choose pink, or let's use pale verde. I don't know what color is this, but let's just use it because it's a bit thicker than pink. So let's also give it a box shadow. That is those shadowy parts of it. So let's say 0 pixels. Let's give here 1 pixels. You don't need to memorize this. If you just try a lot of pixels, it doesn't work. You just keep changing it out. It's the more you do, the more you understand it. I just feel like these things comes with experience. So red. um is red okay? Let's see. So let's refresh. Now let's focus. Okay, I love this. Now the last but not the least, let's work on the button. Okay, so let's work on this button. So the button, we're not doing much on the button. We're not doing much actually. So we're just going to give it a background color. So the background color we're going to use, let's keep using our purple because I don't want so many color in one design. Okay, so let's also give it a color that is for the text. I'm going to change the color to be white, but by default it is black. So of course I'm going to remove the border. I want to remove that black border, so it's going to be none. All right, so I'll also give it a padding, that is inner space. So the padding is going to be, let's use 13 pixels or 14, even number. All right, so let's also remove, give it a border radius, so it's gives us that curvy edges. So the border radius is going to be 20 pixels. Sorry, 20. This 20 pixels. Okay, so I'm going to make the cursor to be pointer, so that whenever the cursor goes to there, it gives us a finger pointer and not like mouse. Okay, so I'm going to give it a font size so the text gets bigger. So for the font size, I'm just going to give it 10 pixels. I don't know if 10 is too small. If it's too small, we're going to reduce it. We are going to add something to it. So a margin top also, I'm going to give it margin top. All right, the margin top will be 10 pixels, so that it there will be space at the top of that button and the input type. I don't want, I want to add transition before, but I just feel like I should leave this transition for now. This course is for beginners. All right, so let me also make the button to hover. So button column hover, just like we did focus, but this time when we hover around it. So the background color should be let's give it that pinky color when we hover on it, right? So that's just it, just to hover. We don't need to do too much. So let's refresh this, and this is beautiful. So you can see we've just designed this beautiful love calculator, and it's very basic, very beautiful. By the time we add JavaScript to it, it starts becoming functional. And I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get an update once we add JavaScript to make it very functional. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Remember to tap on the likes buttons and share and support us in what we are doing right here. I hope you fully understand how this was done. If I was too fast, you can pause the video to see to bring yourself back, but I believe I was slow enough and I was very, very explanatory. I explained it properly. So see you in my next video where we add JavaScript to this. Bye.